Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. So, is Carlos Valdes leaving CW's The Flash? Carlos plays Cisco Ramon, doesn't he? He's been a very successful character since the pilot. And now rumour will have it that Carlos is leaving at the end of this current season. So this is what one site is saying. By the way, there has been no announcement made. So let's have a look. If my device can stand still. Right. Before beginning his run on The Flash in 2014, Carlos Valdes was known for his various roles in Broadway with no film or television projects under his belt until joining The Flash. This is not unusual for a Broadway-centric actor to jump onto the DC television train. Melissa Benoist also being another notable example. But, well, actually that's not true because she had been on a couple of TV shows before she did Supergirl. She was actually topless on another show. I forgot what it's called. And yeah, we won't go there. But anyway, she had done television before. So where are we? Because Carlos was mainly from Broadway background, audience members were not sure what to expect from Carlos. To be honest with you, this is the first time I ever knew that he was part of Broadway. Until he first appeared alongside Danielle Pam Baker in one of the remaining episodes of Arrow Season 2. It's easy to say that audiences of The Flash have fallen in love with Cisco. Yes, he is the Chloe Sullivan, isn't he, of The Flash. The quirky superhero has become a fan favourite character on the show. For those audience members, this article will not please you. Now, before I carry on reading this article, it's important to tell that they have no proof or evidence that Carlos and Cisco are actually leaving the show. Recently, we have been told from multiple sources that following The Flash Season 5, Carlos Valdes will not be reprising his role as Cisco, at least not in a series regular role. There is a potential chance that Carlos may still hold a recurring guest role on the series going forward. However, it is likely that Carlos Valdes could be returning to Broadway after departing The Flash. This would mean that it will be very difficult to bring Carlos in for guest stints, and would likely only include him for necessary storylines. Of course, like next year's Arrowverse crossover, which is a big one, of course. For necessary storyline. Super Bro Movies writer and popular Twitter scooper Daniel Richman stated that he feels that it is very likely that The Flash Season 5 will see the departure of Carlos Valdes as Cisco. When discussing the topic of Carlos Valdes leaving The Flash, popular DC television YouTuber Paigey, I actually subscribe to Paigey, by the way, that the current story for The Flash Season 5 is setting his Carlos Valdes departure up. And his consistent absences in episodes, in my opinion, at least, is the show getting us used to Cisco not being there with the team. But how will the show handle the loss of such an integral character? Paige believes that his departure will not go well, stating that he believes that the last season with the Gypsy character would have been the best time to say goodbye to the Cisco character. Interesting. I think that would have made a lot more sense. Paige adds that Cisco to me is easily the heart of the show. That is correct. Which means that losing a character who is that popular with viewers and could see it being a rough period when we possibly pick up next season without him. Ben Ralph, popular DC television YouTuber and discussing film editor, has suggested that in The Flash Season 6, the showrunners could work as a similar situation to Winn leave in Supergirl. Ben suggests, I think they will try and weave in a replacement like a Brainiac. And Brainiac isn't a good replacement for Winn. Winn was a great character. And, that was a bad move. It may be bumpy going into Season 6, as we've seen with Supergirl's situation with Winn. There will most likely be an obvious absence that will be felt. As of writing, Carlos Valdes' representatives, the CW representatives and the Warner's representatives are yet to provide a comment regarding this story. Well, they're not going to tell you anything till they're ready. But let's be clear here, and I said it before I read this. They know nothing. They're just adding 2 and 2 together and getting 6. They're not reaching 4 because they have no evidence. It's just them. It's just people watching a TV show and making assumptions. So from what I wouldn't take anything as law right now, but it is looking probable that he could leave. But if he does leave, do I believe it's because he's going back to Broadway and he can't do regular stuff? No, 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 no. Just like Wynn leaving, that's suspicious. And just like Cisco leaving, that's suspicious. These shows are becoming very SJW. And if I didn't stop watching the Arrowverse and I didn't stop watching The Flash a while back, Carlos, aka Cisco, leaving the show would have made me stop watching anyway. Imagine in Smallville season 4 or 5, if Chloe wasn't in it anymore, it would be a big problem. Not because I don't love the other characters, but she was a great addition to the show, as Carlos, his character, Cisco is. They are either falling out with these actors, or it's getting worse than that. It's getting worse. Because they're so SJW, they want to remove more and more male actors and characters from their shows. We know how blatantly SJW Arrowverse is now, so it's not beyond the realm of possibility. So what do you think? Comment down below. Let me know. Will you still watch The Flash without Cisco? I don't watch any Arrowverse TV anymore because I think the producers are despicable, the direction the shows have been going. To be honest with you, I loved Arrow season 1 and 2. I loved Flash season 1 and 2. But since then, it's been an absolute SJW nightmare fest, and I just will not touch these shows any longer.